Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. I greatly appreciate them. This is the forecast for the week starting on Sunday, May 2nd through Saturday the 8th. So this is the underpinning energy of the week, right? So this gives us a flow. Each of these cards, these tarot cards, should represent 1 or 2 days of the week. Some of you may experience all of them. Some of you may experience only one of them. It all just depends on what your trajectory is. If it makes sense, great, utilize it. If it doesn't, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's wrong or broken. Check out the drop-down menu in the video description for the YouTube channel. In there, there's things, ways to support the channel and things to think about as you're utilizing any of my readings. Just stuff I want you to know about. All of my social medias are in there. How to contact me to book a private reading. All of that information is there on the YouTube channel. If you're enjoying the video, please hit the thumbs up sign and subscribe, and you can join us every morning. Hit the notification bell and you get notified when I do live events, and that's all available to you. You can also feel free to leave a question or a comment. I will certainly read them. I read all of them, and I will answer any of them if people have questions and things like that. All right, so let's get into this and see what's going on. This is for all signs. It is a broad spectrum reading, so you do need to figure out where it fits in your life, right? I don't get too much into super specific stuff so that I can reach as many people as possible. All right, so let's see what's going on. We're already in May, man. It's like flown by. All right, so the first card for the first few days of the week, I'll take it. Wheel of Fortune, following on the heels of yesterday's Fool card. Right? So we've got that sort of window or doorway of opportunity open to us. The thing to me with the Wheel of Fortune, even though it's major arcana and usually has a big impact in the sense that it's an exciting card, it's full of opportunity, it's full of like ideally fortune or, you know, the things on the upward swing. I always get this sense that it's always kind of working in the background. And it usually, in my interpretation of the Wheel of Fortune, is sort of like the cycles that we're in and sometimes the time that it takes for them to fully become realized, right? So to me, the Wheel of Fortune can sort of take a little bit of time or patience. If we're expecting something or we're desiring something, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that that's fine, but we also have to be a little bit in agreement to it coming to us in whatever way it needs to. Does that make sense? And so when I think about yesterday's reading where we were ending the week with that Fool reading and we're walking into May, I love that we see this here because it means that like May is open for possibilities, open for opportunities for us. We have to be aware of them. We have to be desirous of them. We also have to be willing to let there be like sort of a lot of flexibility within the grand scheme of things to allow them to kind of open up, take place, begin to happen, and to come our way. To me, with the Wheel of Fortune, when we're receiving from the wheel, right? It's sort of like it wants to always spin for our highest and greatest good. But if we're focusing or putting our attention on things that are negative or not working or frustrating or, you know, then we end up seeing more of the same, right? It's kind of like, to me, sometimes the Wheel of Fortune can be the lens through which we view life. And if we're looking at life in a certain particular way, or we're on the lookout for certain horrible things befalling us, or, you know, then sometimes those very things actually happen to us and we don't realize that we sort of had a hand in kind of calling them to us through our own fear, our own worry, our own attempts to avoid them. Does that make sense? So with the Wheel of Fortune, it is a blessing. It's a great card. It says that good things will come to those who sort of not necessarily wait, but, you know, those that are patient and are sitting in like an optimistic expectation of it. You will have to do work towards making these things happen too in your day-to-day life, but the wheel will provide for you whatever it is that you most need. If you most need to deal with your fears and understand that they're unwarranted or that they only bring you sort of more stress, anxiety, worry, and fear along with that, then the wheel will show you that, because ultimately that's for your highest good to break free of that and learn that. I don't necessarily get the feeling that this is a negative card in that way, like all of you are focused on negative. It's just a warning that I give with the wheel, right? Because there is such opportunity here, and there is like, it's almost like when I look at the directions on the wheel, it's like we get to pick the journey today, especially with that Fool energy that we saw yesterday. We get to pick not only the journey or the path, but we also get to pick how we feel about that path, how we experience that path, and how that path sort of unfolds to us. And there's all the room for all the blessings. We just have to be like understanding that we deserve them and be ready to receive them, okay, as they come. So that would be the beginning of the week. It's full of promise. Let's see what the midweek card is. Okay, midweek card, 9 of Cups. Not mad at this card. Cups is the element of water. The 9 of Cups would be about feeling personally complete, emotionally satisfied. This gentleman is certainly sitting there with all of his cups lined up. His emotions are in order. He's almost even got a little bit of a how proud am I sort of feeling. Some of us might actually achieve something this midweek where we are feeling, because I'm getting that sense from him today. Sometimes he feels like he's a little disgruntled. Today, this morning, he feels very proud of himself. He has done something very correct. He has lined himself up or placed himself into a position where he's seeing the optimistic aspects of things. He's understanding where the wheel is probably serving him or how he's working with the environment. Well, that would be the Wheel of Fortune behind him. How he's working within the environment in a positive way, ideally, to fulfill his wishes and dreams. They call this the Wishes Fulfilled card. So, you know, some of us could be feeling as though we're making major strides or accomplishments towards feeling better, towards getting things in line, towards feeling connected to our world. I will say that there is an independence to the 9s, you know, especially the Pentacles and the, the 9 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups. There is sort of like a, you know, I did this work. I've worked hard to get here. I'm acknowledging my achievements. And I like that about this, right? If we don't believe in ourselves, who else will, is kind of the question here. And I think that this is an important position to hold or have during the midweek. Be proud of yourself. Look at what you have versus what you don't. Again, similar to that Wheel of Fortune message. And be grateful and in gratitude for that. The other thing that's pulling my attention, which normally doesn't, is he's seated today. And so I'm hearing like sort of ground in this good feeling in the midweek if you can find it. Find it as best you can. Find what is working. Find what feels right. Find what feels fulfilling emotionally. Ground in that. Sit in that for a moment. Stay there. Place yourself there. And sort of emanate that vibe out and see what that also sort of attracts to you, right? I feel like if there's a theme about these two cards, it's about attraction and being aware of kind of how and what we're attracting and, you know, how and where we feel on the sort of the scale or the radius of our emotions, how that affects us and benefits us. I do feel like there's sort of an opportunity to play here too. I don't know why, but I get a little smirk on his face today where we might actually get to play with the energy and have a little fun this week. So, and then the last card, all right, she brings it in. We've got the Empress, another major arcana card. She's associated with the sign of Taurus. We will be leaving Taurus season soon. It is the end of, it ends at the first half of May. So I like that she shows up here. She's associated with the planet Venus, but I loosely associate her also with Taurus because she's such an earthbound symbol, right? In the sense that she's surrounded by the fields of wheat and the forests, and you know, she is the sort of earth mother, giver, goddess, right? She is fertility, creativity. She is that feminine aspect of like birth. New ideas. If there's anything that we're working with, when I look at the 3 of these cards, if there's anything that we're working with that we want to put together, this may be the week to do it, right? If it's new, you know, ventures or friendships or jobs or furthering our standing in some sort of a situation. These cards here indicate that we can do that, and we can do that quite successfully. With the Empress, she's sort of, to me, the epitome of creative abundance, right? She represents sort of like the richness of the harvest, right? Or the cycles of the moon, she represents childbirth even, right? So it's like big creativity, bringing ideas to life, achieving what it is that we want, and feeling quite sort of centered, grounded, proud, grounded in that Venusian or Venus love that she is associated with. Right? She's associated with the planet Venus, which is that planet of love. So there's not only a love and an appreciation of self that we have, we see that in the Nine of Cups also, but there's an appreciation and a love and an honor that we're giving to ourselves that sort of emanates out into the world, and the world kind of responds back through the harmony that we see in this Empress card. So I love this week for us. I think that this week could be very, no pun intended with that, Empress, very fruitful, very like opportunities to achieve things that maybe have been on the back burner, getting those things lined up and done, feeling good about ourselves, feeling empowered, feeling self-assured and capable this week. Those should all be things that we're running with, not only within ourselves, but also be looking for the signs and symbols from the world around us as it works with us, especially in the early part of the week, to kind of tell us sort of who we are, what we deserve, how we deserve it, and then allow ourselves to have it, to build on that like sort of confidence, those good feeling emotions, that expectation, that hope. And when I say expectations, I'm talking about positive expectations here, guys. Things that we desire, that we really, really want to bring to life. We will start to do that by the midweek, and by the end of the week, ideally we'll see those things come to a very like sort of earthy reality with that Empress card in the end of the week. Now let's look to the Oracle card from the HEDGEWITCH Botanical Oracle. We have Abundance, Hollyhock. I don't need to speak any more on this, really. When I look at this hollyhock, I mean, it's a beautiful floral, it's a beautiful flower, sorry. And to me, hollyhocks, they're those tall flowers, I believe. They grow really, really tall, and they bud, and they're absolutely beautiful. They're strong, but they're also sort of kind of like long stemmed flowers, so they can be sort of delicate. They sort of blow in the breeze is the picture that I'm getting in my mind's eye, but yet they never sort of bend or get destroyed. I think that's the flexibility that we need to have within the Wheel of Fortune at the beginning of the week. Then we need to like open those buds of the hollyhock at the Nine of Cups, like understanding our own beauty and our own well-being, and then really embracing that creativity and abundance by end of the week through the Empress, right? And that's why this is the word for abundance. We should really have that almost be our focus for the whole week. I'm going to look up, I think these go, okay, there goes, it's by flower. So I'm just going to read. The oracle property of the hollyhock is abundance. Aside from being a lovely ornamental plant with many human applications, hollyhocks provide food and shelter to hummingbirds. Hummingbirds are a symbol of joy, and it's funny, yesterday I had 2 hummingbirds outside my window in the rainstorm. They were perched on a wire outside my bedroom window. They provide food and shelter to hummingbirds, beetles, and moths. It is a favorite flower of several species of butterfly. Abundance is a word we often associate with monetary wealth or physical possessions, but abundance is better measured by including health, friends, happiness, and well-being in our assessment. Embracing abundance isn't an exercise in accumulation, but rather a willingness to live gracefully and with open arms. Like the hollyhock, we may find our place in the garden by being a blessing to others. Accept the things you have in your life rather than focusing on things you don't, and look at the many ways you can be of service to your community. Living with gratitude and open arms will attract others to you and provide opportunities for others to see your value. In the Victorian language of flowers, hollyhocks are associated with fecundity and the bonds of love. Much like the Empress, or the Queen of Pentacles from the tarot. The hollyhock is traditionally planted in a witch's garden to bring abundance and fecundity and is strongly related to the pagan holiday Lammas, which celebrates harvest season and expresses gratitude to nature for her generous gifts. Guys, I didn't make this shit up. I think these cards are trying to tell us by the end of the week there may be something that we could be harvesting through that space of love. So keep that in mind as you move through this week. This should be a real blessing. Let's see what the grounding stone is. What a wonderful reading. I'm super excited for this. Okay, the grounding stone for this week is to ground in our focus. Where is it at? What are we focusing on? Like I said at the beginning of this, with that Wheel of Fortune, there's a ton of opportunity within that wheel, but we have to be aware of what we are focusing on, where we are placing our attention. Are we in the present moment? Are we worrying about the past or the future? We can only really take control and do anything within the present, right? And so shedding some of that away and centering ourselves by midweek into that Nine of Cups emotionally is going to really help us to achieve this abundance with whatever we're working with, whatever we're seeking, whatever, maybe it's even just our feelings and our perceptions of things. But if we maintain that focus, if we ground in that and the benefits of that, I think that we will see this harvest. We will see the benefit of this. We will see the abundance come to us by week's end, where we feel sort of liberated, in charge, in sync with our environment and what's going on around us. That is your forecast for the week, you guys. Have a wonderful week. I will see you tomorrow. We will build upon these cards and see how they play out or if they change at all. I hope you guys have a great week. Thank you all for tuning in. Please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. If you have any questions, leave a question or a comment. And if you're interested in booking a private reading, feel free to do so by messaging me at the Facebook business page. Check out and follow me on all my socials, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Really, really have a wonderful week. All right, take care. Bye-bye.